Hello everyone, welcome back to another video with Matt and Khilesh. So yesterday and today we have seen a major correction in markets everywhere, especially in the Indian market and the crypto market. So as we know that we have been in a bull market over the past year, actually almost more than a year. So we are looking to get into some great risk reward plays or even deploy some investments at this during these particular corrections. So let's jump on with Matt now. Let's see what cryptocurrencies he's looking at the moment, what we can get into maybe.
Yeah, for sure. So obviously there's been that pretty nasty correction in the last 12 hours or so. I think it's due to the coronavirus news or whatever else it is. So these corrections, I wouldn't say they're a blessing, but they're definitely an opportunity to take advantage of some assets that are definitely or potentially underpriced in both the equities markets and also the crypto market. So I'll show you the cryptos that I'm looking at, that I'm looking to either make some trades on my futures contracts with, or add to my existing portfolio as well, just to get them at a fairly discounted price. So first of all, we have Atom. Atom looks really good for me. So it's obviously putting a bit of a distribution structure over here. It's kind of had a nice big run up, pretty much since the middle of the year after the big correction in May. And it really hit all-time highs in about September. Then it started to correct down. I was actually long Atom about here. My trade was positive. Trade was positive for a little while, but then it rolled over and got stopped out. I got stopped out in profit, so it was a good result in the end. But pretty much everything really goes with Bitcoin. I'd say that's one of the biggest problems with the crypto market, right? Is that everything is like 70, 80, 90% correlated to Bitcoin in the crypto market. So if Bitcoin rolls over and has a bad day, has a bad week, everything else is generally speaking going to follow suit. There are certain conditions that need to be met for altcoins to really perform really well. So we're seeing Atom here, Cosmos. It's a really strong layer one project. So fundamentally, it's a really good play. And if we're tracing here to these two demand zones over here, that's kind of forming that heat map layer that we're going to talk about in our course, which I think would be really good. But I think from an investment or either from a trading point of view, it looks good. I wouldn't say now's the time. I'd say it's a little bit too early, but I think the signs are quite good for a potential reversal here at this level. The next one is MOVR. So we covered this in our previous video, looking at that Wyckoff structure. Look, that's potentially been invalidated now with this particular area being a spring. But what it has done, it's retraced really heavily back into this very strong demand zone that the market has retraced to before and then bounced off, retraced to before, then bounced off. So we're really looking for the same over here. So I think it's a good play, again, either for a futures contract trade, either for a short-term trade or even for an investment here. This is definitely, looks to me like a really good play here. GRT, the graph, really strong play. Even on the 12-hour, it's looking quite good. You can see my charts are colored based on the different demand zones there. So this is holding up quite strongly. And I think with altcoins, what you have to look for when Bitcoin corrects down heavily, when there's a big correction in the crypto market, you want to look for the altcoins that are not selling off as heavily as their contemporary, as heavily as the rest of the market.
Right,
so as you can see, as you can see here with GRT, it's only down about, I mean, these are trading views calculations, but about 2.2% when everything else is down 5, 10, 15, 20%, right? Pretty much. So you really want to be looking for this kind of strength because Bitcoin is weak and an altcoin is showing signs of strength. When Bitcoin does recover and does start to move back up, that's when you're going to start seeing some really strong performance to the upside, or maybe
that's where we can see some similarities, because I've spoken about that a lot in my previous WhatsApp groups and some communities where I was just helping a few people, and we spoke about this a lot, that the Indian stocks also that we're trading, we keep, when the market is dumping, when the market is going through a correction, we keep looking at the stocks that are maintaining strength. They are relatively strong, and that's why relative strength is also a really good indication. So that's the same thing I'm going to look at on the Indian stocks as well.
Yeah, it's kind of the same in any asset class, isn't it? Right? Because when you have that big major dump off that happens, and then you see a stock or a crypto that it might be selling off, or it might be rebounding earlier than everything else in the market. It really just shows that the bulls are really interested to buy at this particular level. That's really what it's all about. It shows a that there's the bears are kind of given up at that particular price level, and B, the bears want to step back in. And the chart's going to show you that really directly at these zones. So this demand zone is getting held really, really nicely for GRT. We're already starting to see some strength come back into the market on a fairly high time frame level. On the 4 hour as well, it does look pretty good. MACD is shifting back green. The RSI has put two bullish divergences here, which is always good. And stochastic looks fairly oversold as well. So looks pretty decent at this level for any kind of play that you might be looking at. Next one is ALBT. Myself and Kalesh are both invested in this one. It's one we really like from a fundamental point of view. It's a really interesting project. But we can basically see this monster demand zone here that the market has basically printed all the way back here. And the market has really respected that for a really good chunk of the latter part of this year. So really since September, we're seeing a lot of strength off this level. The last time it was here, it did a really strong SFP off this level, which another thing that we'll be teaching. Really strong, came down, grabbed some liquidity in November, and then really had an extremely strong run, which was great. But now it's had that big retracement back at this level. So definitely looking for buys of this level. I know Kalesh, you've added to your stack as well.
Yeah, we've been a part of that previous run as well. So
yeah, exactly. So yeah, we're definitely looking for this to perform quite strongly off this level. But look, even if it does break this level, there's a lot of other strong demand zones down here as well. I'll be looking for plays. The idea is that even if you do buy here and it does break this level, if you're buying in the spot market, it's really not the end of the world. At the end of the day, if you end up buying here, oh, that didn't work, and you end up buying here, and then when the price does come back up somewhere like here, your average buy price is somewhere about here. So you're still in the green, right? So we want to be looking to dollar cost average, but dollar cost average at good levels. Dollar cost average at demand zones. And that way you're going to get a much stronger price, or a much better average buy price over time as the market does show strength.
What you just said is pretty much the gold mine for investors, momentum investors, and all of that. That's the fucking gold mine, yeah.
Exactly. Hence why the things that we're going to be teaching and showing people when we have our course up is that, yes, you don't have to be a trader, but you can use these skills and techniques alongside your fundamental analysis to get a much better average buy price over 3, 6, 12 months and beyond. And then you can imagine if you're buying one particular stock, it could be in the Indian stock market, for example, one of the big blue chips. Let's just say you buy at good, solid demand zones, right? That we're going to teach you how to do. Imagine what your result is going to be, what your account's going to be, even if you're just an investor and you're buying at the good, strong zones. Imagine what your average buy price could potentially be over 10, 15, 20 years. It'll be worlds and worlds apart, rather than just clicking buy, every single time you get.
Yeah, for sure.
Way, there are definitely better ways you can do that. So,
for sure, yeah.
Guys, I'll cover a couple more. So, Quant's another one. Quant and ALBT kind of have a similar thing going on. They're both really fundamentally strong plays. They're really playing in the interoperability space, trying to bring a lot of blockchains together, trying to create like an interoperable layer for other blockchain, for other people to interact with all blockchains. It gets extremely complex. Don't have time to go over it in this video, but the technicals with Quant look pretty good. This is one of my biggest investments. At my peak, I did about 6,000%, so it was quite good in terms of gains. You can't compare gains to the stock market. It's completely different.
Oh my god!
Crypto bull run, things are just.
Oh my god!
Things get crazy, right? So it's really just how it is. But we can see Quant starting to retrace these two key demand zones here. And I'm really going to be looking for plays off these levels here. But more than likely, I'm probably going to add to my stack at around this level. I've got a decent stack, but look, I always want to be buying at a discounted rate. That's what you always want to be doing.
Black Friday sale.
Yeah, exactly.
Black
Like
Friday sale.
we're not just traders, we're investors as well, right? So we want to be using our TA to our advantage for our long-term plays too. So the final one I'll finish off on, guys. Is
What's this one?
Yeah, so storage is an Ethereum-based protocol that's based on cloud storage, decentralized cloud storage. So really interesting project, and that's been doing extremely well. So you do get this sometimes. Sometimes Bitcoin will sell off, the whole market will crash, and then you have maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 coins that just perform extremely well. Maybe it's capital rotation. Who knows what it is? But you can see this strength over here. But what you could see with this one is that this demand zone got printed all the way back here, and it became resistance over here after obviously it launched. So, well, taking a step back, it launched up and hit this supply zone here. It basically wicked down. This was served as resistance. The price came down. It came back up. This is resistance, and it came back down. And then it launched all the way up. Resistance at this order block here. Resistance at this order block here. And then it came back and retested this level. So, guys, this is called an SR flip.
So beautiful.
It is pretty beautiful, isn't it? It's really
technical. That is beautiful. Right? Yeah.
Pretty beautiful stuff. And guys, just to reiterate, these zones that we've drawn in here, we didn't pick and choose these zones. We're drawing these zones in as the chart is painting them. These zones are drawn way back here, right? And that's what we're going to teach you. We're going to teach you how to identify these zones. So if you know these zones are there and you think the market's going to pump, you can put in a sell order here, a buy order here. Why not? You can play this any which way you want. But anyway, I digress. So the market came back to this price here, consolidated and launched, absolutely launched, and did a huge 33% run, which is great. But also, the other thing that's going on here is that it's a lovely cup and handle pattern over here that you can see.
Oh, yes.
Bullish structure there. So really easy to pick. So if you combine, these kind of structural plays like a cup and handle, and then you combine that with order blocks, with demand
what else
zones,
do you need?
It's pretty good, right? So there is that.
Pretty solid, man.
That's pretty much all I had for you today. There's lots of other plays we could talk about, but I think that's pretty much enough for today. Just something that I'm looking at, something that I might be hitting futures trades on, something that I might be looking to add to my existing cryptos.
I'm just gonna reclaim host now, Matt. Thanks a lot for that.
Yes, no worries.
Okay, and so for now, okay, I might be a financial advisor in the future, but at the moment we both are not. So this video is not financial advice. This is just some trades or some investments that we are looking at, and you can add them to your watch list as well, do your own analysis and understand how you can make some really good gains during this period of correction in the market. Make use of this correction. We're not saying that all these demand zones are going to hold true and then you're going to make a lot of money, but as a trader, as an investor, you have to play probabilities and take advantage of the best opportunities available to you. So thanks a lot for sharing your ideas, Matt.
No worries, anytime.